Hey mamas, it's Mama Fox and it is 1 p.m. Central on Wednesday, December the 3rd. You see my eyeballs shifting around because I have to think about it. What day is it? Where are we? Am I in the right group? I do believe so. Membership mamas, I will see you at 2 p.m. Central today for some holiday teaching. So we'll hop right into that in the membership group. But for now, mamas, I hope you're enjoying the Advent Calendar Challenge. I don't know, I just love it. I look forward to it all year long. This is the 5th year, I believe, that I've been doing it, and it is just so much fun. And it's, it's changed and morphed over time a little bit. I just think it's the cutest little tool to have a little fun, little focus. That's what it's all about. Having some fun in our group. Not that we don't have fun all year, because we do. But having some fun, having some focus so we don't lose our head. Hey ladies, come on in. And so fun and focus, but also free stuff because there's always prizes with this challenge. And this is the big one. This is the big one for sure. So y'all come on in. Let me know if you're here. I'm going to refresh my screen because I think I can see, hey Tammy, I can see, Tammy said hey, so I can see that. Sometimes it doesn't show me all the comments, but there I am. We'll see if that works. Okay, and I just want to say right now, it's cardigan season for sure inside the house, and it's so bright and sunny out there right now, and it looks so inviting outside, but I know better. I know, no matter how sunny it looks out there, it's not. But I'm still going to go out. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go out for a walk after 3 today. I'm going to do it. I did it yesterday, and it was cold, but I didn't regret it. And I went out there, and I know some of y'all are living in places that I'm just not made to live in. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't, but I'm proud of you, and especially if you get out in it. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, we're going to have a few announcements as people are coming in, and then we're going to jump into some holiday teaching for you also here in this group. Some encouragement, some teaching, some things I want you to think about no matter where you're at in your health journey. Thing number 1 is this Advent Challenge. We're on day 3, and I know many of you have done the Advent Challenge before. You've done my other challenges before, but some of you are new. Some of you have never done one of my free challenges. They always work about the same. Now, this Advent Challenge is a little different because you have to click the link to go to the calendar and see what it says. But that's just so super fun. I just love it. But other than that, my challenges all work about the same. You don't have to enroll. You don't have to sign up. I don't need your email. You just come into the group and you show up and you find the post of the day. And the post of the day is going to be clearly labeled with a graphic that will say something like, week 1, day 1, Monday, or at least day 1 Monday. It's going to be clearly labeled, ladies. Okay. I promise you that, because I'll tell you what, I'm in a group, and I love this. I love the group. Well, I love what I get from the group. I'm in a group myself, and they do monthly challenges and things, and it is not clear. It's not clear, and that just drives me crazy. I hope this is clear. And so also, when I do a challenge, I pin, kind of like a bulletin board, I pin the post to the featured section that's at the top of our group. And that's one of the tabs that you can select, kind of like files or photos or media or guides or whatever. Featured is one of those. And so I'm looking at my laptop right here, and I'm pinning each day up there, but it's clearly labeled day 1, day 2, day 3, and the post itself says, day 3 of 12. So hopefully that makes it really clear. Now, that's the first thing. So I hope it's clear and easy that way to find it and participate. That's all you have to do is comment on that post. Now listen, I don't want to see a dwindle. I'm already seeing a dwindle. I don't want to see a dwindle. These are simple. Day 1, we had almost 700 mamas participate on day 1. On day 2, we had close to 600 mamas participate. So that's awesome. Now day 3 is only halfway done, and we're not even close to 300. Okay. Now I don't want to see it dwindle over time. I want y'all to participate. They're all easy. I promise they are. Here's the other thing though. Day 3 is today. That is true. And just for those of you, not everybody's going to hear this, you're supposed to eat something red today. That's the task. Eat something red. I bet you can guess that you're probably going to have to eat something green soon too, because red and green are Christmas colors, right? Now, you might not be able to do that today. Like maybe you don't see it till later and you're like, well, shucks, I didn't eat anything red. Or you're like, oh my goodness, I have to go to the grocery store in 2 days. We have nothing red. I get it. So one of the things about my challenges, all of them, this one included, is I don't really care if it says that it's day 3. I just want you to do it, okay? And if you don't do day 3 task until, 3 or 4 days later, big deal. I don't care. You don't even have to tell me. You're going to be able to comment on that post and tell us when, what you had. So please do that. So just know that if you run across a task on the calendar that you can't get done that day for whatever reason, or you just didn't do it the next day or 3 days later, and then just come and find that post in the pin feature post and comment, okay? No problem. So we're not about trying to do perfect. We're not about like, okay, well, you have to do all 12 of these things to have an opportunity to win. No, not at all. You don't have to do all these 12 things to make some good progress or get yourself focused. Not at all. But you can always comment later, okay? Now, here's the deadline though. There is a deadline. The deadline though is going to be Tuesday the 16th. This 12-day challenge wraps up Friday the 12th as far as the post and all that. There's 12 days, right? But you're going to have all weekend, the 13th and the 14th, and Monday the 15th, and probably some of Tuesday the 16th to catch up, to comment. I think, now listen, don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure the Advent calendar, you can still open it, I believe, on the 13th. I hope so. I think so. We'll find out about that, but that's what I think. But you can catch up, okay? And so then, this is my next announcement. My next live in here will be Wednesday the 17th at 1 p.m. Central. So Wednesday the 17th at 1 p.m. Central, I'll go live. I'll have a little bit more holiday teaching for you and some tools to kind of think about using. And then we will do our random Wheel of Names spinner to get our grand prize winners. We'll be announcing the 12 daily winners. So there's sort of 12 finalists for the grand prize, the 2 grand prizes, which is a free seat in my Foxy Foundations coaching group that's coming up. But because it's Christmas, because I don't always do this, but it's Christmas time and 'tis the season for gift giving, each day of this challenge, someone is going to win a book of their choice from my recommended books section on my website, okay? I only put books on there that I think are absolute winners and gems, okay? Because believe me, I listen to or read a lot of books, and only my absolute favorites that I can feel good about endorsing and encouraging are on that list. And so there's going to be a winner from every single day, but like I haven't randomly picked day 1's winner yet. I could, but again, I want to give everybody time to get into the group. If you want to invite your mama friends into this challenge, they're not late. They can still do it. So I won't be picking any random winners or finalists or whatever until probably Monday or Tuesday, the 15th and 16th. I want to give everybody plenty of time. Okay, so we're going to have 12 winners and 2 grand prize winners. And so you can definitely invite people in. They're not late. Let them know they're not late. And then lastly, before we jump into the teaching, hey ladies, I'm so glad to see y'all. I know, Karen, I love, and see, now I'm not seeing all the comments, but Karen said, I look forward to seeing what's new each morning. I do too. And I'm the one that made the advent calendar, but I can't remember what order things are in. I mean, I checked it and I did it, and it's different than last year, and I changed a few things, but I can't remember either. However, that reminds me, oh me, I just switched to a new planner, and I had, I think, a note. I think it's in my other planner, ladies. I had a note coming up, and I think it's for either Friday or Saturday. I think Friday or Saturday's task is one that you're going to want to try to see very early, like code for, you know, before you have your coffee or breakfast, I believe so. I'll have to look that up. I am so sorry. I just switched to my new, I do a planner that's by the quarter, but my quarter starts with December. I know that doesn't make sense. That's just me. It's not the planner's fault. It's me. I just switched to my new planner book, and I think that note is in the other one. So let me write a note about that. And what I'll do is I'll make a post in our group about this task I'm thinking of in my brain that y'all are going to want a heads up on. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're welcome, Joyce, but I'm going to tell you right now about the grace. With that, this task that I'm thinking of, it's something that you are going to be tasked with doing like all day. It's not hard. I promise it's not hard. And so if you don't see this task until halfway through your day and you're like, I've already blown it, big deal, do it the next day, right? It doesn't matter. Do it the next day and then comment, okay, I did it. The point is to do the task for one whole day. Some of y'all probably know what it's going to be because I put this on there almost every year. But I am going to make a note. Check about task on, I think it's day 5. Okay, and I'll make a post about that, okay? And I bet some of y'all know exactly what it's going to be. And anyway, oh dear, there is somebody at my door, but I don't know who that is. That's very interesting. They just ring the doorbell. Did y'all hear that? I don't know who it is. I don't recognize it. I hope that they figure themselves out. They're probably wanting to like clean our gutters because they need it, or cut down a tree because there's probably a dead one. Anyway, we're just going to keep talking about that. So I'll make a post about that. All right. I'll go live in 2 weeks, December 17th. And then the last announcement is that Foxy Foundation enrollment is open, and it starts January the 5th. If you're interested. Are you nervous about my doorbell or about the task? Kind of nervous about the doorbell. I'm watching this person walk away. Lord, okay, I don't know what they're doing. They're carrying a box. Well, if that's my package, I want my package. I have no idea, y'all. It's not hard. I promise it's not hard, but it's one of these things that, yeah, anyway. It's the only one like that I can think of. There might be another one. There might be another one that has to do with breakfast that you'd want to see early. And I'm not trying to advocate that you get on early. I actually am all about, not only am I all about offline by 9 at night, I'm all about don't get online till 9 in the morning or whatever. I don't get on my stuff until an hour or two after I've done my other things to get myself ready for the day mentally and emotionally and all that stuff. Okay, so Foxy Foundation's enrollment is open, and there's 2 FAQ videos here in guide number 1 with answers to the most common questions. You can certainly post in this group and ask questions about it. It is not to scare or intimidate anyone, but it is a packed, it's a packed, in-depth coaching experience, okay? It can work on anybody's schedule, any time zone, but it is, every week there's stuff. There's things to do, listen to, practice, all that kind of thing, okay? So I try to really answer as many questions about that as I can ahead of time, because I want you to know, is this the right fit for me during this season or not? Do I have the time and the margin to commit to it? And it's kind of like, you wouldn't sign up for some sort of online class in college if you didn't have time, right? Not that this is college level, but you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't sign up for a college class if you didn't have the time and margin to do it. And so I do want you to consider that, okay? Because it's not just it's not a self-paced course. It is interactive coaching that's kind of intense, okay? And you can ask questions in the group about that, okay? All right, here's what I want to talk to you about today, and then we'll talk some more about this in 2 weeks also, is I've been thinking about, in my own journey and with my membership mamas, I've been thinking about that the gift we can give ourselves right now more than any other time of the year is just the gift of habits, the gift of healthy, supportive habits. However, the big caution there is we've got to be realistic about this season. That man is still outside in his truck. I don't know what's going on, y'all, but he hasn't rang the doorbell anymore. But we have to be realistic about our season and this season that we're in, okay? So there's both of those, our personal season, what's going on personally in our life, but also this holiday season. And I mean, I get kind of sad thinking about how we tend to describe this time of year so often, and I see a lot of social media posts about it, and it's kind of sad but I do get it. And in that, a lot of people will start like, oh my gosh, it's so hectic, it's so crazy, it's so busy, there's so much going on, whatever. And that is true, but there's also so much good. It's so much good, fun things. There's so many blessings. The blessings of family and gatherings and just all the beautiful decorations. It's like, the tackier, the better kind of thing. I mean, like, sometimes more is better at Christmas. I don't know. But it makes me a little sad that we kind of frame up this time of year from about, Thanksgiving to January 2nd or 3rd as just so crazy. And it can be, but it doesn't have to be, Yeah, the gift of healthy habits, but simple habits. This is not the time of year right now for any of us, myself included. This is not the time of year to try to start something brand new that, like, maybe you want to do, maybe you know you should do, but like right now is not the time of year to try to start something new. Right now is a great time to fall back on those things that you have done in the recent past that has helped you and benefited you. Like, you already know. Like, you're not having to prove yourself. Like, right now is really not the time to say, okay, I'm going to try this thing that these other people have talked about and see if it works for me. That's not the time to do that right now. There's too many interruptions, too many things going on that are so different. I mean, it is the most wonderful time of the year. It really is. But it's definitely a little chaotic. And I say that in the most fun, whimsical way possible. So right now is not the time of year, in my opinion, to try to do something that you've not really mastered or done before with any possible, amount of success or whatever. It might be a good time to settle back into something that this past year, earlier or the year before, that you did do for a while and it did work well for you and it did support you. And you're like, okay, I need to get back to that. That's possible. And I wanted to give you some examples of that just for you to consider, because as your health coach, because you're here in this group, this is my group. And while, this is a free group, I still consider myself someone who is in your toolbox. helping you, somebody that's on the, sidelines cheering you on, right? And so I want to give you some things to think about that will help support you from now, December 3rd, all the way to January 3rd. Okay? Because on January 3rd, there's still leftovers from New Year's Day. There's still charcuterie stuff going on in the fridge from New Year's Day. I have no doubt, right? And so for this next month, this next 30, 31 days, I want you to think about the gift of healthy habits you can give yourself that will actually support you, but support you now in this busy time and in whatever's going on with you and your busy life particularly, and that won't add more stress or guilt or strain, okay? Come January 5th, Monday the 5th, when Foxy Foundations starts, now that's the time to try some new things for 10 weeks, right? That's the time to say, okay, it's time to get down to business and get a little more serious about our health journey. Absolutely. And it's not that during this next 30 days that I want you to be like, whatever, it'll be fine. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I also don't think that it's a great time to set yourself up to do something very hard or very new to you that is going to actually be kind of hard to start. And here's some examples of that, okay? For example, let's say that you haven't fully given up sugar, okay? Let's say that maybe you've done that a long time ago, but maybe this past year or two, you have not fully given up sugar regularly, whatever that looks like, okay? Now, should you give up sugar and make that like a 1% of your life type thing? Yes. As a health coach, I'm going to tell you yes. As an anti-inflammatory coach, yes. As a menopause coach, yes. As an insulin resistance coach, yes. That is something you need to do. Is right now the best time to say, okay, you know what, for the next 30 days, I'm not going to have any sugar? No, I don't think so. I don't personally think that right now is the best time for you to make that commitment, because how hard is that? Well, hey lady, how hard is that to do right now if you haven't been doing it? Okay, does that make sense? It's not that I don't think that that's a great thing to do. I do. But like right now, no. January 5th, yes. And if you want support, like nobody's business, come and join us in Foxy Foundations on that. But right now, that's just too much pressure, and I think you're setting yourself up for like major failure and guilt and all that. Now, I'm going to talk to you about that though. So maybe you're like, well, I have given up sugar and junk and all that mess in the past, and I know I felt better. I know I can do it, but you haven't done it in a while. What can you do though? If that is something you're ready to get back to and you don't want to wait till January 5th. Well, what you could say is, okay, maybe I'm not going to have it in my home. If you're there, like I know that's maybe not what everybody could do, but maybe you're just not going to have it in your home, but maybe when you go to a party, you have some. I mean, you're not going to be going to a party every single day, okay? I mean, that would be like a lot, right? But maybe that's your approach, and that's a valid approach right now. Or maybe you're like, well, there's so many good holiday treats this time of year and the holiday drinks that are only there for a little while, and there's food traditions in your family or amongst your friends, and maybe you're like, I'm just going to enjoy these things, but what can you do? Well, maybe that's going to be at the end of your meal instead of before or in between, right? Maybe those little treats and sweets are true desserts. Man, we've gotten away from that in a way. We have gotten to where we have sweets and treats and sugary drinks any old time because they're available any old time. And we've gotten used to have you ever done this? Or is it just me? Have you ever had dessert for your meal? Anybody else? And I don't mean like back when you were a college kid or 20 or 25. I mean, like, have you ever had dessert for a meal? Or like a sugary big latte schmate for a meal? Let's not do that, okay? So one good approach could be that you're like, okay, I'm gonna enjoy some of these things, but my step I'm gonna take this month is to have those at the end of a proper meal. That right there is gonna make such a difference in your blood glucose numbers. And even if you're not checking your numbers, it's gonna make such a big difference in how you feel and the effect it has on your body and all those things, okay? Does that make sense? Am I the only one? Are y'all talking to me here? Because, like, am I the only one who has ever had dessert as a meal? Surely not. I raised my hand. Did any of y'all raise your hand on that one? So let's not do that, okay? Now, here's another one. This one is, I'm struggling with this one myself. And that is, maybe this month you're like, because I asked day one of the Advent Challenge was, what is one healthy habit you're going to commit to? Just one that you are committing to because you know it's going to support you in some way. And again, what I'm saying to you is and you might need to go back and change your answer. I want you to set yourself up for success and true support this month. You can go change your answer, or you can just add a new answer, whatever you need to do. But one of the ones I thought about for some of us is we've done a lot of talking in my membership group and a little bit here too about the importance of getting outside, whether it's for a walk or a porch sit or a deck sit or whatever, but getting outside to get that sunlight into, I don't mean stare in the sun, but get that sunlight into our eyeballs and just get outside. Well, listen, it's hard to do that right now at 7 a.m. It's so cold. I mean, it's cold at 3 p.m. for that matter, but at least at 3 p.m. it might have warmed up a few degrees, perhaps. But like, it's really hard to do that right now. And it's especially hard to get out there early at 6, 7, 8 a.m. if you've not been doing that at all, right? So is getting outside early healthy? Oh, yes. Is getting outside early great for circadian rhythm and sleep and stress and cortisol? Yes. But if you've not already been doing that, I mean, like, winter might not be the best time to start. And I hate to say that because we're just getting started on winter, but like, really, like, it might not be the best time to start. You may be like, this is for the birds and I'm not doing it, okay? I don't blame you. I actually I usually do get outside early. I don't go super crazy early. Not that that isn't beneficial. I just don't want to. But I'll get out there normally when it's not 30 degrees or less. I'll get out there like between 8 and 9 a.m. And I love to do that. But like right now, it's very cold here for us. I know it's probably not that cold for some of y'all, but it's cold here for me, okay? And I have not gotten out there before 3 p.m. yet. I just haven't. I'm like, no, I don't think so. But I am getting out there. And so that was what I was going to say. If getting out early is something that you want to eventually work into your daily regimen, that's a great goal. But maybe not right now if you haven't already been doing it. Now, some of y'all have already been doing it and you're just doing it. And like, you're just going to do it and you know you're going to feel great when you're done and you've got the gear. Oh my goodness, you got to have cold weather gear to do this. And that is something I started making sure I had a year ago, was just getting better gear. And because I mean, I didn't. And now I do. I have better gear to keep me warmer and all that kind of stuff and help. Okay. But for your healthy habit this month, maybe you are, maybe you can just say, okay, I'm going to get out there for 10 minutes at 3 or 4 o'clock, maybe 3-ish, whatever you can do when it's a little bit warmer. It's not so early. It's not dark yet, all those kinds of things. So I want you to think about what would make sense for you right now. And then the last one I wanted to give you an example about, with giving yourself the gift of habits, but recognizing your season and the season and all the things that are going on, has to do with weightlifting, okay? And I am not a certified personal trainer, so I don't want to advise you specifically on workout programs and regimens. I don't, because that would not be in my scope. But we all need to be paying attention to our muscles, especially as we age. We all know, I think we've all heard that, eat more protein, lift weights, both, okay? It isn't just eat more protein, it's also lift weights, okay? Now, you may know that, and you may think, okay, I need to lift weights 3 times a week, and I need to just start. Well, I encourage you to consider that as a great goal to work up to. But this month might not be the best time. And I know Mama Shelly here, who is a certified trainer, she may be saying, I can't believe Mama Fox is telling women not to lift weights this month. That's not what I said, Mama Shelly. If you're already weightlifting, do it. Keep going. But if you haven't been lifting weights at all, then that might be a better goal for you to start January 5th, Monday the 5th. What a great day to start some new stuff, right? And I'm only saying that just because this month is so busy and so full of wonderful, beautiful interruptions of all sorts. And it might be hard to start a consistent workout routine, whether it's weights or anything. It might be kind of hard to have a consistent workout routine, and you might get frustrated. And you might think, well, I was going to work out 3 times a week and I only got 1 in. I just can't do this. I'm too busy. Or I'm not any good at making commitments or sticking with them and blah, blah, blah. And that is not necessarily true at all. What can be true, what is true I've seen, is that this month is just full of beautiful interruptions. And I know you're probably like me, and you want to make time for self-care and things that are important to you, and you should. But you also want to be available and free and present for those people who you love and care about, and you might not get to see all the time. And I'm thinking for those of us, like I have 3 girls in college, they don't live here. I don't get to see them all the time. So when they are here, I want to be, okay, I gotta tell y'all something in a minute. I want to be very present. Y'all, I just looked out the window. My son, my 17-year-old son, who else is in North Alabama? I know Brandy was here a minute ago. What is the temperature outside? He has got on a short sleeve t-shirt with the sleeves rolled up, a pair of shorts. He's got on shoes. Praise the Lord. That's a new one. He's outside on a walk. Oh my goodness. But he's got on shoes, y'all. That's a step. It must be cold out there if he's wearing shoes. That is a step up. That is a step up. So am I saying don't move this month? I'm not saying don't move this month. Please do move. Try to move after at least 1 meal a day. Try to move after 1 meal a day, okay? Give yourself some grace there, and also don't limit yourself to just a workout regimen right now. Just let it be, I'm going to move. That would be a great habit this month. I'm going to move with purpose every single day. Brandy, what is the temperature out there? Do your boys wear shoes outside? Because Henry usually doesn't. Must be cold. Must be very cold. But like this month, it may just be, okay, I'm going to try to go for a walk, weather permitting, but like, don't let that temperature stop you from moving. If it's truly too cold for you to get out there and you don't have the right gear and you're just not up for that, Leslie Sansome, walk at home videos on YouTube. Leslie Sansome is the GOAT. Do y'all do her videos? She has seen me through some years where I couldn't easily go on a walk because I had little kids. And I mean, yes, sometimes I did take my kids on a walk, but if you've ever had 4 kids in 5 years, you know that that's not always peaceful. It can be fun. It's not always peaceful. Okay, it's 39. Okay, it's almost 40 degrees. But Leslie Sansome, free YouTube walk at home videos. She is so amazing. Isn't it amazing that we have free tools like that? We have no excuses. Too cold to go outside, bad weather. walk it home inside your den. And you don't even need a lot of space at all to do it. She is amazing. If that doesn't appeal to you, then gosh, you know what? The 3 best exercises you can do for your blood sugar post eating, but anytime is good. Calf raises, and you can even do them sitting down. You don't even have to stand up to do calf raises. So don't tell me you can't stand up. Sit down. Calf raises, squats. I know, but only squat as much as you can. You don't have to squat deep if you're not able to do that. Calf raises, squats, and wall push-ups. Those 3 exercises right there, if you do those every day or every other day or whatever, amazing. Doesn't cost you anything, only takes a little bit of time. You don't even have to do them as a set. You could do one of those after breakfast, another one after lunch, the other one after dinner. Okay, keep it simple. And again, if you're not lifting weights or doing some kind of, workout program, this might not be the time. Yes, it's called Leslie Sansome Walk at Home, and it's on YouTube. Now, listen, I have some of her DVDs from back in the old days, and the way I even found, Brandy, guess what? The way I found out about Leslie was from your sister-in-law, Dana. That's how I found out about Leslie. Dana and I were out on a walk together, and we were walking somewhere, it doesn't matter, but we were on a walk together, and she told me about these walk at home DVDs. And my brain was like, what in the world is that? I couldn't even fathom what that would look like. Well, then sometime later, I went to the library. This was a long time ago. I went to the library and I was looking at exercise DVDs, and there were Leslie Sansome Walk at Home DVDs. So I got a few and I was hooked, because this is when the kids were all little, and I was hooked. And she's so positive, and she's fully clothed, which I appreciate. She's got some clothes on, she's clean, and all. She's so positive. So anyway, Leslie Sansome. But I believe you can get her stuff on YouTube now. I mean, it's free. It's amazing. It's amazing. So just moving. So anyway, that's some just things to think about, okay? As you're looking at what are some good, healthy habits that are simple, reasonable, supportive, that you can give yourself this month. So instead of thinking about habits as something that you have to do or that you feel guilty about if you don't do it or whatever, think about them as a gift that you're giving yourself to just support yourself over this next 30 days. And, I think probably almost everyone would love to knock off a few pounds. I get it. That's what January the 5th is for, is to knock off some pounds. And I'm not saying you might not knock off some pounds this month, but I don't know that trying to lose weight as your goal during the next 30 days is really very supportive and helpful. Does that sound terrible coming from a health coach? I hope you know what I'm trying to say here, because I think that weight loss maintenance is totally a great goal during this next 30 days. Weight loss maintenance, absolutely. Getting back to some foundational, simple basics that will support you this month, but yet allow you to have some good fun with some of those family traditions and those fun food traditions that are just a part of the season if you want to. I think that's okay. And it doesn't have to get you completely off track, okay? The other thing I wanted to share with you real quick. Oh, I'm doing good on time. Okay. I got 2 things I want to share with you real quick to give you some food for thought about some other habits, okay? Thing number 1, my membership group and we're having our own little holiday fun group. With all kind of stuff going on, holiday teachings and holiday fun and just whatever. And we use a habit tracker. I'll show you the November one because it's more. We use habit trackers in our group. And I know this is backwards. I just want you to see mine. You'll see it's not always perfect because I'm not. Okay? And what we do is we usually have a few habits that we're working on for the entire month. Okay? Last month was stress management, and we tackled that with 10 minutes of some positive things, 4 positive things that we were doing each day. Simple things, 10 minutes at a time. And lo and behold, if Dr. Josh Axe didn't post today, I took a screenshot talking about 10-minute habits. I was like, what? That is crazy. That is what we did the whole month of November, was focusing on healthy, supportive, positive things that we could do to help us better face stress and busyness. And we were doing that in November in getting ready for the busyness to come and try to start establishing some of these things. So we did some 10-minute things there. And then this month, we're kind of continuing on with simple foundational habits that still give that wiggle room for, the holiday treats, or, the special food that, Aunt Marge is going to make, and you quite frankly are looking forward to it, and it ain't healthy, and that's okay. And I wanted to share those with you. Our 4 habits that we're working on in the membership group, anybody can do these, I assure you, especially the first 3. The last one's a little nuanced, and that's a lot of my teaching in the membership group, but the first 3 you can do, okay? 40 ounces of water a day, okay? And we talked about how this time of year it's so easy to grab a hot cup of coffee, and I am doing that. I'm not telling mamas not to grab a hot cup of coffee, because why would I do that? But 40 ounces of plain water, because this time of year it's cold. The air's getting drier. It's going to be very easy for our skin to suffer the consequences of dehydration on top of the dry air, right? And so we want to make sure we're staying hydrated from the inside so that it shows on the outside well. 40 ounces of plain water, that's not a lot of water. That gives you plenty of room to have, a fun drink, an herbal tea, whatever. You can still have that, but we're focusing on 40 ounces of plain water, okay? Every day. It's not too much, but it's going to help us move towards our hydration and not give way to that hot pot of coffee that's kind of going all day long. Anybody else? Our second habit that is supportive that anybody can do, and it's my favorite habit. If y'all don't know what my favorite habit is, I don't even know. Where have you been? Do y'all know what my favorite habit is of all? It has nothing to do with food at all. My favorite habit of all time is offline by 9. Man, I love that habit. I cannot even tell you how impactful that habit is. It's so important. Getting off your devices an hour or 2 before bedtime and being just really committed to that will change your life, okay? Number 3 habit that my membership group is working on this month, and these are habits we've done before many times, so again, we're not starting any new habits this month in my membership group necessarily, although some mamas probably need to commit a little bit to some of those, but we're just revisiting habits that we've already talked about many times over and just getting grounded in foundational basics. So the 3rd habit is moving after 2 meals a day. I don't care how you move. Monday, my movement was mostly housework, and I was moving my booty butt all over this house trying to get stuff ready for decorating for Christmas and all that kind of thing. It can be whatever. It can be housework. It doesn't have to be outside. It can be inside. It can be at the gym if you want, whatever. But moving after 2 meals a day. And by moving, I just mean 10 or 15 minutes after a meal. It can be more, but boy, one of the worst things we can do for our health long term is to sit all the dang day. Sitting all day. And I don't mean sitting in front of the TV, that's not great. Like all day, but I mean, sitting in front of the computer working ain't great either. Like you may think you're being productive or whatever, but you're still sitting, right? Even standing in front of your computer at a standing desk would be better, right? So we're moving after 2 meals. So that's the 3 I wanted to share with you. The other one is a little nuanced. I think I'll save that one for a different day. My habits that I'm committing to in addition to those, because most of those I already do fairly well, working on the water. It's not my strong suit, but I'm doing pretty good so far this week. But one of my habits that I used during the Thanksgiving break last week when we were on vacation at the beach in a beach house with some, like my dad and his new bride and all the kids and a boyfriend and all this stuff. But one of my habits I decided ahead of time that I was going to commit to for me, because I've been doing it for a while. I'm not putting this on you right now, but January 5th I will. Okay. Was no snacking. No snacking. I eat my 3 meals a day and that's it. That habit that I did not start until after I turned 50 years old. So my whole life I've eaten, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. My whole life, literally. And I did not start that habit until after I had turned 50. Okay. But I've been doing it a while now. And that has been a game changer for me, for my metabolic health, for my weight, for my food noise, my cravings, my nighttime eating, my sleep because of that. Holy moly. So that habit isn't really hard for me anymore. But you can imagine when you're on vacation, things always get a little haywire, right? And if you're on vacation in like a rental house or a situation, or maybe somebody else's home for that matter, where things are just different and the other people in your group or family, well, they eating whenever they want. They snacking because there's all kind of snack foods and everybody, I had a shopping list that I brought, but then so did G-Daddy and so did this person. And I knew what it was going to be like because we did this last year, a year ago, similar situation. And I knew going into this, okay, this is how it's going to go down. I'm going to have a menu and I'm going to have a list and then my dad's going to bring so much more food and snacks into the house, even though I've told him, got it covered, Dad. And I'm not ungrateful, but it's not helpful food for the most part. It's really not. But I decided ahead of time, I'm going to stick with my 3 meals a day and I'm not snacking. Now, does that mean I didn't have snacky foods? Oh, I had snacky foods, but I had it with my meal. So like I actually planned for on Thanksgiving Day, we did, you may have seen my pictures, we did charcuterie that day for the meal. Okay. So I kind of worked it that way, but that is what we did for the meal of the day. In the middle of the day is what we decided. We did charcuterie. Now we had Thanksgiving. We had a normal Thanksgiving meal, but that was on Tuesday. There's reasons for that. It doesn't matter. But I had snacky food. I did. I had, sausage balls and I had some cheese and I had, the Mary's Gone or whatever cracker things. I had that stuff, but I had it with my meal, at my meal, and I didn't snack. I didn't graze. I didn't pop food in my mouth. None of that. And that was something that it was not hard for me to do because I'd already been doing it. Now, I'm not telling you to start doing that if you haven't been doing it, but I do want you to be mindful of how many times a day are you popping something into your mouth. You might want to notice because you might be surprised. How many times a day are you popping some food in your mouth and you're like, well, this is healthy food. This is some macadamia nuts, or, well, this is, whatever it is. Every time you eat something, it's not just carbs, guys. Every time you eat something, you're initiating an insulin response, okay? And I want you to be mindful of that. And so this month, just kind of be thinking about that. Like, how many times a day am I eating or popping something in my mouth? Or drinking something that has stuff going on in it. Just be mindful of that. And again, January 5th, that's going to be a big part of the Foxy Foundation. So what we're going to be doing is honoring insulin and taking good care of it. And, I want for myself, but for the ladies here in this group and certainly in my membership group, I want all of us to get to that point where food does not control us anymore. We are in total control of our food, and we can say snacks. Who needs a snack? Toddlers, teens, and pregnant mamas, maybe nursing mamas. Okay, we don't need snacks. Now, that doesn't mean you don't like snacky food. I love snacky food. Have it with your meal. Have it at the end of your meal. Have it as part of your meal. But that was one of my main things. In addition to those other ones I mentioned, that I really wanted to stick with was doing that. And I felt so good. I wasn't eating all day. I wasn't mindlessly eating. It was fantastic. It was so good. And I still got to eat plenty of yummy food, I can assure you. The other thing I personally did, because I've been doing this for a while, that I did even on the beach trip was, I think so, Anne. I think so. I believe so. I think a vibration plate totally works for that. I'm jealous. I've never tried one. One of these days I want to try somebody's and see what I think about that. The other habit I did on the beach trip, because I'd already been doing it, was, and if you already do apple cider vinegar every day, then being strategic about when you drink that or use it could be something you could move into this month if you aren't already strategic about it. And by strategic, I mean two things. One, having it after a really carby meal, especially maybe one that's, not the most health promoting type of carbs. That's a great time to do it, before or after. Sometimes you don't know. I mean, before is ideal, but sometimes you don't know if you're going to eat something that's really carby, especially if you go to a party or gatherings. Sometimes you're not sure. Sometimes you stumble into it and you didn't maybe mean to, or just you ate more than you meant to, or whatever. So before is ideal. After is wonderful still. And I have used that apple cider vinegar habit in both of those situations. But generally, what I've gotten into more is I just have it in the nighttime, well, not in the evening. I have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a glass of ice water with a straw around 8 o'clock at night. It does such a lovely support for my sleep, for my morning cravings and things like that, or whatever thoughts about food. It's a wonderful tool. And so that was something I wanted to make sure I had at the beach trip, was drinking my vinegar every single day, at least at some point. Okay, again, at some point, I wanted to make sure I got that in every single day, because it's such an easy, cheap, powerful tool to have in your toolbox. And yeah, I don't put anything else in it. I don't put stevia in it. I never thought I'd be that person that doesn't put stevia in their apple cider vinegar, but you dilute it with a big old glass of ice water, drink it through a straw, and you'll get used to it, okay? You'll get used to it. So apple cider vinegar with a big glass of ice water. You could put a fresh squeeze of lemon in there if you want. If you're having it right before or right after a meal, feel free to go ahead and put a little stevia in there. When I'm having it at night, I don't. Possibly that's okay to put the stevia in. There's so many conflicting opinions out there about what effect that has on an insulin response. Stevia doesn't really elicit a glucose response, but there's a lot of conflicting info out there. And for me, I wanted to do whatever I could to protect my insulin and really get a handle on my food noise and my cravings. And I found that I'm a big girl, and I can drink 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar without stevia in a big old glass of ice water with a straw, no problem, okay? No problem. And so that's usually how I do it. So those were a couple of things that I took with me to the beach, which was super holiday season in a way, because it was just so different and whatever. And so that's some things I'm sticking with this month. I'm not starting any new habits personally this month. I'm just leaning into some solid foundational habits that I know I can be consistent with no matter what. Even on super party days or busy gathering days, I know I can be consistent with getting in my water, getting in my vinegar, getting offline by 9, eating just 3 meals a day. I don't need to be snacking at all, and moving after a meal or 2 a day. Moving in some way, okay? So I want you to think about that, and I want you to think about your answer from day 1 on the Advent calendar. And if you need to tweak that, change it, whatever, do it because, and I'd love for you to comment that on the Advent calendar, but really this is about you. And so you don't even have to do that if you don't want to, but I want you to think about one solid habit, whether it's food related, movement related, sleep related, stress relieving related, whatever it is. Think about one solid habit that you are committing to this month that you know will super help you this whole month and support you and give yourself the gift of habits that truly support you. Okay? So I hope that was helpful and gave you some things to think about. Again, invite your friends to the Advent Challenge. It's super fun. I will see you ladies. Well, I'll see you in the group. But I will see you here in 2 weeks to do a little bit more teaching, but more importantly, to do our winners and announce all that and celebrate our Advent. Okay? All right. Bye-bye, ladies.